Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Relationship Atlas podcast. Today, we're going to discuss the power of decisiveness. We're going to relate it specifically to our relationships. And we're just going to touch on more specifically why this is so necessary. It's coming up in the relational world specifically because in the past I've spoken to a lot of clients who live in the world of indecisiveness. Should I stay? Should I go? Are they for me? Are they not for me? Is this enough? Is it not enough? What do I do? What decision do I make? I don't know. I'm going to make none. And anytime we're choosing not to make a decision, there's a high chance we're still just living in the middle, right? We're living in indecision. And so indecision isn't necessarily a lovely place to be. Think about when you need to go to the gym or you want to go to the gym. And instead of deciding I'm going, you think to yourself, I could watch this show, or I don't know, I'm feeling a little tired, or it might be just too busy, and I don't want to drive, I don't want to get dressed, I don't want to, whatever, fill in the blank, right? This experience of indecisiveness. And I just want you to just acknowledge the truth of your experience in that that's an incredibly stressful dynamic. It's an incredibly annoying experience, right? Because your body is firing off. You can hear my dog in the background chewing his bones here. It's a very annoying experience, right? You think about the way it feels. It feels agitated. You feel like you just, there's energy in your body you don't know what to do with. You're trying to pretend there's not energy so you don't go to the gym, but then it probably is the right decision. Indecision is full of suffering. And so when we're talking about the most important relationship we have in this world, which is our partner, the partner that we choose, if we are indecisive about that, imagine that kind of suffering. Imagine that level of anxiety of going to the gym or not going to the gym amplified by 1,000. That's the experience you're having. And now we have to consider how much stress you're putting on your body by not simply choosing. And that might sound easier said than done. I get that. But when we're talking about things like the gym, it is a lot easier than we're making it. It is, I'm not going to go or I'm going to go. And we just got to start being more decisive and follow up with whatever action it is we've decided on. So if I've decided I'm going to watch a show and I'm not going, decide that and live in that world. Don't live in, well, I don't know though. Maybe I should go to the gym. Nope. You got to close the door, because when you leave the door open, you're letting your mind process a possible reality that you're not acting on. So you're stressing it out. You're stressing yourself out. You're suffering unnecessarily. Now, again, applying this to a relational dynamic. Let's say you've been together for 10 years, right? Things are dwindling. The fire isn't sparked. Things aren't flying off the handles. You're not grabbing each other to throw each other on the bed and just get after it. You just don't feel like you talk well anymore. Things aren't going the way you want to. Naturally, your mind says, is this it? Is there more? I don't know if this is what I want to do, but I know I don't want to be alone. I know I don't want to end it. I don't want to go through the pain, but also this and also that. That level of indecisiveness is causing so much turmoil in your body. So here is my general solution. This is what I offer my clients. You got to pick. You have to pick. You have to be decisive. You have to be clear. If you are going to get in the mud and deal with it, or if you're not. Now, 10 years is a long time. So you're thinking, well, I don't want to give up. Great. Then stop giving yourself the space to think about giving up. Now you can hear how decisive, clear, and concise that is. And the reason we need to live in that world, whether it is deciding to go to the gym, making our schedule for the day, taking action towards a goal, figuring out if this relationship is for us, am I dating, am I not? Are we together or are we not? All of these decisive decisions are built to help us be more available to the next one. If we're only focused on deciding on if this is for me or if this is not, we don't have space for other thoughts. We don't have space to think about our job, our career, our dreams, our home, sex, money. None of it matters. It will come up and it will only amplify the indecision we're living in. So when it comes to creating decisiveness in a relationship with the 10-year example, my encouragement to you is to make an agreement with yourself for the next fill in the blank time frame. I am committed to this relationship. I'm going all out. Let's just say it's 6 months because you've been together for 10 years. Let's say it's a year. For the next 6 months, I am committed. I'm deciding. There's no other thoughts. I'm not going to contemplate is or isn't. It just is. Now, of course, you're not imprisoned by this decision. You can change it down the line, but that's not the point. The point is stop giving yourself room to think about the other side so that you can focus on what else is possible. So you can focus on solutions. You can be forward focused. You can dial into actual action that might actually impact something in this relationship. But because you're in the middle, you're not taking any action and it's not getting you any closer to where you want to go. Set a time. 6 months, I'm committed, I'm all in. If my mind wants to get busy and it wants to say, yeah, but, and this, and what about that? You say, okay, mind, totally get it. You're scared. You might have some fears. I honor those. You're going to get some space to do that at 5:30 today, but you're only getting 10 minutes. Once that 10 minutes is up, you're done. You're done. That's all you get. This is how we respect ourselves and the decisions that we make. Our mind wants to rebuttal. Our mind wants safety. That's all it really cares about, to be honest. It's just safety. And so we're going to say, I honor you. I'm not going to say you're wrong, mind. I'm not going to shame myself. I'm not going to guilt myself. What I'm going to do is give a designated time for my system to process that in 10 minutes or in a couple hours when I've put in my schedule time to worry. Think about that. Time to worry. I've given myself that space, time to be anxious, time to be sad, time to be angry. I'm giving myself that so I don't tell myself I shouldn't be angry. Angry is bad, sad is bad, anxious is bad. None of it's bad. But there are things that we need to take care of in our life. There are ways we want to feel more consistently, which means, again, be decisive in how you approach that. You can apply this anywhere you want to be. Relationships is the loudest one. And this is the point of the podcast. But if you have a big goal, you have a big dream, right? And you're thinking, yeah, I really want to get after it. And then 2 months down the road, it's not going the way you want. And you're like, should I keep doing this? Is this for me? Am I meant to do this? You're not respecting yourself on your decisions in that moment, right? So what would it look like to respect myself? Hey, hey, we're going to give ourselves 10-minute worry time at 6 o'clock. But what I didn't do, and you can hear it, if you didn't do this, it's where you're getting yourself stuck. You didn't give yourself a structured time frame or time focus. You didn't say for the next 6 months, I'm giving this my all. You didn't do that. So you said, hey, I really want to pursue this. So I'm going to throw it in my schedule. No kidding. 2 months down the road, it's kicking your ass because there's not a clear direction. This is the same conversation that's alive right now when it comes to the dating world. You have a couple dates, you really like each other. But at some point, somewhere along the line, neither of you initiate what the fuck we're doing. And so you live in indecision. Therefore, you live in suffering. It sucks to be there. But you want to hold on to both realities. Right? We want to hold on to, I have this thing and it's available to me, but I also like my freedom. So I don't want to put a label on it yet because that might take away my freedom. But I really don't want to lose them. So I don't want to jump the gun here and say, hey, are we together? I don't want to put too much pressure on it. I don't want to be too much. I don't want to be rejected. All of that fear is only causing you suffering. Yes, it's natural. Yes, of course, it's going to happen. There's no shame. There's no guilt here. I love it. I love every experience, right? If you can just live in that feeling, sit with that feeling for 5 minutes instead of needing to do something with it right this second, then you may be able to get to the point where like you realize, I don't want to feel that right now. I don't want to feel it again in an hour. I don't want to feel it again multiple times tomorrow. What is the decision? What do I need to do here? Are we together or are we not? If you can't come to a solid yes, it's a no. A lot louder for the people in the back. If it can't come to a very clear and concise yes, It is a no. And this comes back to some of the statements where we talk about things being fuck yeses and fuck nos, right? You put power behind your decisiveness. And the reason we talk about that in that way is because, again, there's power there, there's energy there, and it's very clear cut. There is no distinguishing a part yes, half yes, sort of yes, maybe yes. Nope. It's a fuck yes or it's a fuck no. And when you can live in that world, you feel really good about all the direction you've created because you told yourself no to this, and that makes it very clear you're saying yes to this. Just letting space for that to ruminate, giving breath to the relief that we feel when we understand how fucking amazing it is to live in a life full of decision followed by action. And there's not a secret formula to this. This is the part that I think I hear a lot, especially in the clients. And this is also something my mind wants to do to me. Well, I don't understand. How do we make a decision? How do we take action? It's tough. What about this? What about that? Yeah, totally. What about those things? That's not helping me. Well, what if it doesn't work out? Okay, make the next decision. Well, what if it does work out? Okay, make the next decision. Take action, make the next decision, take action. The more fluid we can be in that conversation, the better off we can be. Listen, I worked for a restaurant for a long time. I actually took a break from coaching and I came into the restaurant industry again. It's my forte. I love it. I'm really good at it. It's just not it's not my world. It's not something that I'm meant to do. Or rather, it is something I'm meant to do because I'm really good at it. I'm choosing not to because there's other things that I value and I want to choose instead. Decisiveness. Let me tell you though, when I was in the middle ground of like, is this for me or is this not for me? God, I was dying. I was suffering. It sucked. It was hell. And sure enough, it impacted my work. It impacted my productivity. It impacted my mood, my feeling. I was at home just loathing like a little baby. I was, you know what I mean? It wasn't going well because I wasn't making a decision because I was so scared about left or right. I was like, I'll just keep pushing. I'll just keep it pushing. That's motivating. I'll just keep it pushing and I won't decide. Nope, decide. So eventually I did. And let me tell you what happened. It's kind of vulnerable actually, but it's hilarious because this is the power of decisiveness. I lived in indecisiveness for 2 years in this job. It was immediate. Immediately when I went back to that world, immediately I felt the dissonance and I felt the questions start to show up, but I didn't listen. And I said, nope, that doesn't exist. But it would come back, nope, doesn't exist. Yeah, and I was indecisive. 2 years down the road, I finally decided to leave. And this has nothing to do with the business, by the way. I actually really loved it in a lot of ways. And the people. God, I love the people. Here's what happened. I made the decision. Finally. I said, hey, it's time for me to go. It's time for me to move on. Here's my notice. Thanks for everything. I'm going to give everything I can for the next month. It's the notice I gave, and then I'm going to go. It was maybe a day or two later after I had made this decision, informed the team. I was at home and I was sitting on my couch. I threw in my headphones because I wanted to listen to some music. It hadn't been something I had done in a while. And I came across this song. And it's not an amazing song. It's not the world's best song. But the way the song moved through me allowed one of the wildest stress cycles I've ever had to finally release. I'd been under that duress of indecision for 2 years. I had never finished that stress cycle, so I lived in it. 2 years later, I listened to this song. I'm in my house all alone. And 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, 20 minutes later, this song is just on repeat, on repeat, on repeat. And every single time it restarts, more tears. More tears. More tears. Then my body wants to move. So now I'm, as a man, I have a difficult time admitting this. Now I am jumping around my house all by myself, crying. But also, the wildest part was I was laughing. I was laughing. I was crying. I was dancing. I was jumping up and down. I was moving around my house. I turned the lights off. So it was just like this universal experience. And it didn't end. I felt like I couldn't get it to stop. And that's it. That's it right there. It needed to explode in that way because I had spent so long on indecision, causing myself unnecessary stress and never closing the cycle. That's what decision offers us. Decision offers us relief. Relief can create new experiences based on new decisions, but without that relief, we can tend to get really stuck in a stressed experience because we're not being decisive. So if you're going to leave this conversation today, I want you to just to consider, where are you allowing energy to be taken away from you because you're not being decisive? And I'm not saying let's everybody get up and end their relationships and end their marriages and walk out or whatever. What I'm inviting into the conversation is just find the areas of your life you're being indecisive in and change your own narrative by choosing it or not choosing it, choosing something different. Watch what happens the next day. Watch how you feel. Watch how much energy you have. And watch maybe the grief that shows up, like it did for me. Watch what happens, experience that, and then put that on repeat. Put that shit on repeat. Write it on your window. Your window? Whose window are we writing things on? Write it on your mirror. Put it on the phone. Background, decisiveness followed by action. Decide, act. Decide, act. And just so we're clear, you can make a decision to schedule time to ruminate if you want. It's a great decision. You give space to a natural process, but you don't let that process run your day. Coming back to the relationship dynamic, make a decision, create the container, commit for that container. If you don't like how things are going after that container is over, then you've made your decision. Then you've discovered what's next best. Regardless of what you're up to, regardless of if it's a goal, it's a daily task, it's a relationship, it's a conversation, whatever it is, make a choice. Choose left or choose right. And watch how your life unfolds. I'll leave it there. Thank you for listening. I hope this inspired you in some way. I hope you feel energized and amplified like I do, just to go out and just decide and take action and watch what happens. I know how much value it's provided me. I know how much value it's provided my clients, and I'm confident that I know how much value it's going to provide for you. If you need more to help you get to that position, I can help. Reach out to me. Go to my socials at the relationship coach _. Click the link in my bio. Let's talk. It works. And it's just one of the many tools that we can take to get there. But if your nervous system is not in a position to do so, and you notice what happens, maybe it's explosive, maybe it's volatile, let's change that. Let's fix that. Let's work on that together. Thanks for listening. If you like this episode, please subscribe, please share. I appreciate you being a part of this community. This is just the beginning. I think I've said that every episode. I'm so appreciative of you being here. Let's just keep on winning. Let's just keep on finding success, and let's just keep making progress. Right? We're not chasing perfection in any of this. We're just going after progress. Talk soon.